All right, good afternoon. How you doing? Happy Tuesday. Man, today's a great day. Tonight, 9 p.m., I'm going to go over our report trades. Got about 8 stocks that I'll be watching this month that have a very high probability to push up for my swing traders, and really understanding your situation, your time availability could really put you on a path to success a lot quicker, right? So let me explain. If you're available in the mornings and you can dedicate, say, a good hour, hour and a half each morning, then day trading could be for you. If you work and you're tied up and you can't really focus on a chart or the screen time for that first hour or two, then we could go into a swing trading aspect, right? And what's nice about a swing trade is that you're simply taking a position today, and you're not sitting at your screen monitoring it like everybody thinks. You could take it right here from your phone and simply let the trade play out, and there's special orders that we could put once we move X number, and it will automatically take care of it for us. And then like we got a couple different strategies for the swing traders. Then the real game changer, maybe not the real game changer, but real wealth, long term wealth, I feel, is buying investments. Letting them play out where they might not push up in your favor today or tomorrow, but it might take a couple days, a couple weeks, maybe even a couple months. But you guys all hear me say before, if you watch my stream, I like to day trade for my job. I like to swing trade to help grow my account. And I like to use the profits of both to funnel into my retirement account. And that's why I think investing is a very crucial staple for long term wealth building. So my account has about 40 different companies. Getting ready to sell out a lot of them because remember this: you don't grow your account unless you take profits. And just something that we're taught. We can always get back in. You know what I mean? And I'm going to show you here in about 10 or 12 minutes why hodling, the hodlers, right? You just don't buy and hold it forever. You can, and you'll win, but you can outperform that. And you can stay more active, right? And then when you do it together as a team, it becomes a lot more fun. So today, I'm going to quickly share with you why I called out some of the day trades that I did with the same pattern over and over and over again, and how they managed to play out. These are some of the trades that I do share live every single day on the call. And if that's something that interests you, you just got to do me a favor or one thing. Just comment in the comments below where you're watching this from, because I like to know where everybody's at, and put a BMT down there. That's our way of having fun. If you get a green bag, we say if you green, throw a BMT in the box. Just something that we do that have fun. Because what's work when you're having fun, right? So today we're going to dive right in here. A little bit strange, very very strange, I'd say. Still managed to get some money, but it happened a lot slower than I would like. But I can't control that. One of the trades ended up giving us a nice, I like to call it a grand slam. Just simply a trade that plays out so quick, so fast in our favor that we're good. But overall today, I gave about 45 minutes to the market, and I got just shy of 1K. Do I win every single trade? Absolutely not. But when you come in, you trade with proper risk management, you trade a plan, and you stay consistent. That's how you're going to get true winning trades over and over and over again. And then you become a professional. So let's rock and roll right here. Here, where the smiley face is our first chart that we got. What happened is we come into the morning, we end up hitting our pivots. So I had like a pivot break right there, super aggressive. But then the market was red right there. Coming into the market, we opened up right there, as you can see. And our rule is we need a green candle at a pivot or a red candle at a pivot, and then we like to trade away from that. So like this right here, you have a red candle, red pivot. We will take a breakdown, and you're able to capture that. It's not a great trade, but it could be a good trade. So coming in here, we got this first green bar that came up here, and that bar is pretty large. So I said it was a little bit aggressive. I wasn't taking it. But then with this next bar that came, it hit our pivot. So I told everyone I like this breakout right there. because then we could simply use as our stop out. As you can see, nothing never materialized, not yet anyway. Then price came back up, and my last pivot break would have been right here. When this candle broke out right above that, that is a textbook, right? That is a textbook breakout off the pivot. And if you want to be a little bit more conservative, you could have taken the breakout right there. Nonetheless, you could have gotten yourself, give or take, 53 up to 58, 5 ES points right here. You would have gotten about 3 right there with a 3-point stop. So I mean, it's a risk reward of 1-to-1. That's a nice, that's a okay winning trade. So my first one was this trade right there. Got stopped out for about a point, but that happens sometimes. Then we come back down, and I took a breakout again right there. And now I was able to capture a little bit more, and I'm getting about three ES points on that move. Then price reset. This candle turned red. Said it was not a great trade. It was a good trade, and my insiders know why. But some of us did take this, and they would have got a winner right there. Nonetheless, right here, 1 hour a day or less, and we are green, and that's what's most important. So we're not going to. I didn't take that last trade right there. Did take that trade on ES. Got 2 trades on ES for 100% win rate. But it wasn't really what I want to say, that grand slam that you chase. You know, coming into NQs now where the new smiley face is. I'm gonna stick out my tongue, and guess what happens? This actually blessed me very quickly, and that's why I wasn't as upset or disappointed in the lack of movement on ES. You know, coming in here, our candles are green. We hit our pivot. We got a breakout right there. Here's our entry. We called it, and look at this. This thing went from 526 all the way up here to 613, almost 90 NQ points. Almost 360 NQ ticks you could have gotten. Of course, I didn't capture all that move, and I don't expect you to either. But I did enter here, and I did get stopped out right around like 560. So I was able to get just shy of 30 NQ points on that trade, and I was pretty happy with that, right? Of course, what happened was price went up, came down, put me in my trail stop. It came up here, and then ended up coming back down, stopping me out, and then it took off, and it was going to the moon. That's like some we have fun, like a joke in the room, right? But in the end, you can't be mad with a green bag. So there was the first trade we got on NQ. The second one, you got a breakout there, and it did hit a high right there and then come back. But at that point, you know, I was okay and content with that trade, and I got that ES trade over here. But that's just some of the things that we call out in our room, right? The last trade, which blessed us as well, is our CL chart right here, which is our CL crude futures. We ended up hitting a pivot here. We got a breakdown right there, and this thing ended up dropping all but 50, about 45 CL points. Once again, I ended up getting stopped out about right here. So on this trade, I got about 15 or 17 CL points. If I remember correctly, once again, I did not get stopped out down here. Price fell in my favor, came back, stopped me out, and then ended up going farther. But we like to say bummer green bag. So the futures trades today with the NQ, the ES, and the CL, I'm not disappointed, you know. So that's how that played out. Now, I do trade stock options. I actually love stock options. And you see where the star's at, right? And what happened today is same thing. If you took this trade, we have a red candle that hit the pivot. We called out a breakdown right here, and this thing in the first 5 minutes went from 430 down here to 4. We'll just say 420, 428 or 429. So it's like 430, 80, and then 428, 80, give or take. So it's about $2 on the share side. That is a quick lick. That's a quick 15, 20% ROI where you can go risk free, right? So we made that known. But then if you want to be more conservative, also said we want to take a breakdown right there. Then the next bar turns green. We want to take a breakout. This bar turns red. We took a breakdown right here. This was my second Tesla trade, and check out what happened. It ended up going down from 429 to 427, another 2-point drop, and that is some ROI stacking in your favor. So I like to get in profits, protect myself, because my favorite trade is a risk-free one. The last day trading option that I called out today is our lovely SPX chart. I ended up calling it a breakout right here when it broke out above. But the true power with this is simply this right here, right? Let me bring my chart down. You're going to see this AI Lotto high. And what this does is our software will tell us the option strike that has a high probability to give us 50 to 100% ROI on that specific strike. So once again, on our breakout, this thing did hit a high of about 45. Down here was about 37, or I'm sorry, it hit 51. You would have gotten your 50%, give or take, maybe 75%. But a lot of us ended up taking this trade on a breakout, and in this move right there, that was enough to generate me, after me getting stopped out, about 40% ROI. So we call this our lotto system because a lot of times what happens is, like I said, it's a quick breakout or breakdown strategy, but the true power is using our software to tell us the option strike to take and get locked and loaded. We are actually on a 9-day win streak with this, so the last 9-day trades, we're green. Does that always happen? Heck no, it doesn't, but I do expect to go 4-1 at the end of the week. So if we can manage a 4-1 win rate over time, 80%, then we are sitting in profits, and that's exactly what we like to do, right? That is our goal. Our goal is to get green, stay green, and rock and roll. So now that's how we day trade. I'm going to share with you how we swing trade real quick. I pulled up Amazon just because I like to pick up a different symbol each time we do the stream, just to show you that I'm not staging it and giving you the best swing trade symbol that I found most recently. So I haven't, well, I mean, I do trade Amazon, but I'm going to show you the power of it. A simple pattern, a green candle, green arrow, or a red candle, red arrow. This would give you the opportunity to take buys and sells, right? Now, the only way I wouldn't take that is if it's right on before an earnings day. If it's after the earnings day, I would take it. But if it's before the earnings day, I wouldn't take it. So on this specific strategy, right, if you buy anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks of expiration time, I prefer 4 weeks, and we get a measly $2 in our favor or two deltas, we're typically up 15, 20% ROI. We could be risk-free at that point and let whatever happens after that go risk-free. So a lot of times I might get stopped out about 25 or 30%, but I'm a firm believer of the singles and doubles are what grows your account. And if you're not taking profits, how's your account growing, right? So think about that. Anyway, let me show you this right here. Green candle, green arrow. This price expand up. Yep, price expand up. That is before earnings. But then we got a red candle, red arrow. Price push down. Green candle, green arrow. Green candle, green arrow. Green candle, green arrow. Green candle, green arrow. So I'm going to start keeping track. 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0, 6-0, 7-0, 8-0. This one, guess what? You would have got stopped out. 8-1. Red candle, red arrow. 9-1. Guess what? You would have got stopped out. 9-2. Red candle, red arrow. 10-2. This is before the earnings. Green candle, green arrow. 11-2. Green candle, green arrow. This doesn't look like much, but check it out. If you got in at the end of the day at 48 and the next day went to 50, that's almost $3 on the share side if you want to go into the cent. So we were I forget 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7-0, 8-0, 8-1, 9-1, 9-2, 10-2, 10-2, 11-2, 12-2, and we got 12-2. So over the course of, what do I want to say, July to right now, it's about 5 months because this month just started. We got about 14 trades. So you average about 2 trades a month, give or take. So you can watch a couple different symbols, but where's my calculator at? There it is. So if you see 12 divided by 14 total trades, that's 85% win rate, and that's stacking odds in your favor. Now that's not sharing with you the other the buys and the sells that we see as well. This is just one of our patterns that we have inside of our group, right? And we utilize. So with that being said, right, swing trading with a plan helps over time because what I said at the beginning of the call, you got to stay consistent, you got to trade your plan, and you have to use proper risk management. Now, That's how we can swing trade with just one of our patterns. Inside of our group, we do have multiple, I like to call them multiple patterns or trading vehicles. And the reason why is because everybody has different risk preferences, and understanding that you may like one thing and someone else may like another. So trading isn't a one shoe fits all, but it is a one shoe fits all in a sense where we all can make money, but we all do it slightly different, right? Now, I believe that the software that we have is state of the art, and that's why we have a lot of successful people in our private group, and it continues to keep growing. So it's good. Now, on the investing side, we could pick out something like what do we want to invest in? So we want to look at Microsoft or Google with an L. We'll just go Google with an L to start. Now we're going to take this same exact logic on this, and we're going to go down here to the weekly time frame. And what we're going to do is we're going to look at every single buy we have. I can start way back here and show you something if you started 17 years ago and how low it was, but I'm going to show you more recently, just to give you a more accurate representation of something that you could make. And let's just say you had $1,000, right? Here's a buy right here. Here's another buy. Here's another buy. And here is another buy, all at the same spot, right? So you have 1K. You put $500 into this trade. All right, then it goes against you. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Trading's a scam. And that's exactly why people get mad, because they expect to put money in it, and they expect it to be up here overnight. Investing doesn't work like that, right? Because it's based off the sentiment and news worldwide and what the investors think of that. But when you invest smart, like I'm showing you, check this out. You have 1K account, you put in $500 here. Down here, your $500 might be worth like 300 bucks. Then we get another buy. So if we have a buy here and a buy here, our average price is about right here. And then we have $1,000 in the market. So we have nothing on the side, right? And this is 130. As price goes up to right here, 180, 130, that's about 50. So that's almost 50%. So up at this point, your $1,000 is worth $1,500. Now, what you could do is you could sell out, right? Bring $1,000 back and let $500 ride. And then you get another buy here, right? So if you buy here, and your now new cost basis is about right there. And you have 500 in the market. Let's say you want to put another 500 in. So now we have a total of $1,000. Then price goes up in our favor, 120, and it hits 200, right? So that's 50% again. So your $1,000 becomes $1,500. You sell out again, you let $500 ride for free, you bring $1,000 back. All right. So now we now have a $2,000 account, right? And we now have $500. So we just grown our account from 1,000 to 2,500. That's not bad, right? Then we get another buy over here, and since we have $2,000, we might put in $1,500 or $1,000, which now puts us into a $1,500 investment because previously we had $500 remaining. I always like to be in the market, but I like to be strategic, right? So now we pull this 2,000 out. Now we have $1,000 sitting on the side. We have $1,500 here. Now our cost basis comes up here to about 160, and guess what? Then we get what we call this parabolic moonshot. We come up here to 320. Your 1,500 is 3K up there. There is no way that you should not be scaling out or taking profits. Sell out, bring 2K back. You have a total of 3K on the side because that 1K we had, right? And now you have $1,000. Now you have $1,000 in Google for free. So we got $1,000 in Google, and we have $3,000 on the side. That's smart investing, right? That is smart investing. Rather than you putting in your $500 here and holding it all the way up here, guess what? Your $500 is only worth about $1,200 up here. So you're still in profits, but I have $4,000 the way that I do it, and you got $1,200 the way that you do it. Get what I'm saying? You can outperform that. Now, let's just go into a simple, let's go to Ethereum. Everybody knows Ethereum, and do the same exact thing. We have a buy here, we have a buy here, we have a buy here, right? And you have $3,000. So you might put 1K into this trade, and now we have $2,000, right? up here. So we can erase this. And what happens is at $10, up here at 20, right, we're at 2K. Well, if you're up 100%, there's no way you shouldn't be taking profits. Even if you're up 50%, what you can do is move a stop right here, never gets hit. So as it keeps going up, you can move a stop loss up. At this point, you're up 2K. Sell out, bring 1K back. Now you got 3K, and you have 1K sitting here. Well, when it comes way up there, your 1K is at 2K again. Sell out, bring 1K back. Now we got 4K, and you still have 1 grand in the market. So we don't care what happens. I mean, we want it to go up, but at this point, we have $1,000 in the market, and our account is $4,000 on the side, while we have 1K in our previous stock of Google. Then, right, this was our old buy. Here's another buy. So our cost average comes up to about 17. Well, once it gets up here, right, you put another 1K in, so now you have a total of 2K. At this point up there, right, your 2K is going to be up to 3 or 4 grand. We're just going to say 3 grand just for undercutting it, right? And we're going to say 3 grand, sell out, bring 2K back. Now our 4K went to 3K plus this 2K. Now we have 5K, right? And guess what? We're going to erase all this while we still have 1 grand in the market. And our average was about right here. Then we have another buy right there, which brings up our new average about right here, about 22 or 20, give or take. And it goes up almost 100%. Your 1 grand, if you put 2 grand in, might be 3 grand up here again, sell out, bring 1K back or 2K back. Now guess what? You have 6K. You have 6K in your account while price is floating back down, but we didn't know that this sell-off was going to happen, because if we did, we would simply sell out. Now we have $1,000 in Ethereum, $1,000 in Google with an L, and now we have $6,000. Remember, just 5 years ago or 4 years ago, or realistically 3 years ago, we started off with 1,000. Now we have $8,000. Or you can do this way, that I call it the HODL way, which everybody does. You put $1,000 here, and up here, it's worth $4,000. And then back down here, it's worth $1,000 again. Back up here, let's just say it's worth 5K. Back down here, it's worth 2K, right? Or 2,500. Guess what? Your $1,000 is only worth 2,500 right now. My $1,000 is worth $8,000. What would you rather do? Would you rather have $8,000 or $2,500? Obviously, everyone wants the $8,000. So I say all that to say this. At what point do you take profits from an investment? You have to pay yourself, because that is how your account grows, and that's what I'm trying to show you right here today. So with that being said, if this interests you and you like what you see, just comment beast mode below, and I'll reach out and we'll get you squared away. Other than that, you guys have a blessed one. I'll catch you on the next one. Beast mode out.